Can everybody hear me? All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. This week, we've been marking Unity and Spirit Week on campus. So for all of you who've participated in any of the talks and the programming, who've dressed up at all for Spirit Week, I want to thank you for being a part of that. Today is a first ever. We want to take time as we close Unity Week in a time in our country and around the world where things don't feel very united to talk about what indeed unites us as Maroons. And so we've got student leaders from around campus who are here just to give us a glimpse of that, to hear from the students' perspective, because we know full well what the college says from the administration, and so we want to balance that voice with your all voices today. And so I want to thank our student leaders who've taken the time to prepare some comments for us. We want to be supportive of them. And so I'm going to invite our co-hosts. This is Alexis and Devin, who work in the Center of Civic Engagement and Campus Ministry as fellows, and they'll be leading our program today. So I want to invite them up. The mic is yours. Thank you all.
Thank you guys for coming out today on this very cold and chilly day. But welcome to RC Unite, Unity at the Flagpoles.
So Devin and I are each going to introduce ourselves, as we'll ask some of our student leaders to introduce ourselves. So I can go ahead and start. My name is Alexis Barton. As Chap said, I am one of the Campus Ministry Fellows in the Center for Spiritual Life and Campus Ministry here at Roanoke College. Within the center, I work closely with Chap to help develop our programming, like Theologies on Tap and RC Light. I create social media content, and we all work together to create a more inclusive community on campus that welcomes and affirms students of all backgrounds. What I want to share with you today is a short message, but it's a challenge. Recently, in one of our staff meetings, we were talking about Unity Week and how we, as a group of about 2,000 students here at Roanoke, can actually be united. One of the words that we threw around a lot was inclusivity. How can we as campus ministry be more inclusive? How can we be united without including everyone? This discussion gave us a lot to think about, and it forced us to reflect on how we include different communities on campus. Oftentimes, it's easy to view ourselves as inclusive and welcoming people without truly thinking about what we're doing to be empathetic, compassionate, and understanding. I'd like to share with you a quote from Henry Ford. "Coming together is the beginning. Staying together is progress. Working together is success." Inclusivity is not a destination. It's not something that you can just check off on your to-do list. It is a choice that you have to make every single day. Compassion is something that we can choose every single day. Being empathetic is something that we can choose every single day. While you're here, attending this event, learning, sharing, this is just the beginning. This is the first time we've ever done an event like this, as Chap said, and this is an important step in becoming a truly united campus. And I hope that each and every single one of you take this as a challenge to look at yourself and look at the choices you make and how we can make our campus more inclusive. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Devin, and I am a Service Leadership Fellow in the Office of Civic Engagement. So a little bit about what I do is I work with community partners to organize volunteers from Roanoke College so that we can get the Roanoke community involved in service projects. So I have the honor today of hosting this event and representing the Center for Civic Engagement, and I want to share with you guys a little story about my experiences as a Maroon. My first experience with Roanoke College was through the Office of Civic Engagement. I was a senior in high school from southern New Hampshire, interviewing for this position I knew very little about. Jesse Griffin, the director of Civic Engagement, and my interviewer immediately went into a long-winded explanation of how civic engagement was a key role in the Roanoke community. He told me all about our house and the different community partners his employees worked with. From all the college tours and interviews I'd experienced thus far, I had not heard anyone speak so reverently and passionately about their college community. Then my tour guide was also from the Office of Civic Engagement, and she spoke about her experiences just as highly as Jesse. Subsequently, I decided Roanoke was the place for me. I began to see why Jesse spoke so highly of Roanoke when I participated in Our House, and got involved with Lunch Buddies at GW Carver Elementary School and Blue Ridge Literacy. Then I participated in alternative breaks. These were truly life-changing experiences for me. I went with a group of other college students into small communities to serve them. Barely having ever wielded a power tool, I soon found myself cutting down trees with a reciprocal saw. While I was doing this, my new friends and my leaders cheered me on. To think I found this kind of support through service. When Jesse asked me if I would be an alternative break leader, I was more than thrilled to fill the position. I wanted to continue to share these experiences that were just so incredibly formative to my young adult life. This community that we live in is only made better when we participate in activities like when 7 young adults, barely having ever known each other beforehand, can come together through service. I have made best friends through these trips, and I know I will continue to do so once alternative breaks start back up. This is why I love being a Maroon, because I am provided with opportunities every day to participate in unifying experiences for which I will never forget. Thank you.
So now we're going to hear from some of our other student leaders. First up, we have Liv Long, who is the president of the Honors Association. The goal of the Honors Association is to create opportunities for social and academic experiences around campus.
Hello. Like Alexis said, my name's Liv Long. I'm president of the Honors Association. And today I'm going to read a chapter from the Bible, 1 Corinthians 13, or at least part of it. This is also known as the love chapter. If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails, and now these 3 remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. 1 Corinthians 13 is often read at weddings and known as the definition of true love. And while it is, it also extends to how we should treat our neighbors, our friends, and our fellow Maroons. These verses explain what love is, and also the idea that without love, nothing else really matters. Maroons are united in that we do things to care for each other and love each other, and I see it all the time in people waving hello to a classmate, or holding doors for people that they don't know, offering to help someone carry something heavy, or asking someone how they're doing and actually listening for their response. We don't do these things because we have to. No one's standing at the door to Commons saying, you have to make sure that this door is open for the next one in line. We do these things because we're trying to be there for the people around us, and that's how we're united as Maroons. Thanks.
Thank you, Liv. Now we're going to hear from Kaylin Spickler. She's the editor-in-chief of the Brackety-Ack. A little bit about the Brackety-Ack. It is the campus newspaper which publishes print issues every other week. Because of their large staff with many interests, the Brackety-Ack tackles a range of topics from the election to what's going on in Olin Hall or Kerr Stadium to monthly horoscopes. There is sure to be something for everyone, so make sure to pick up your copies by the information desk. Kaylin?
So, over the course of my 3.5 years at Roanoke College, I have truly felt this sense of family. When I first stepped foot on campus as a junior in high school on a tour, I knew I didn't need to look any further because this already felt like a second home with my second family. That feeling has only been magnified over the years, and especially since COVID-19 hit in March. Last semester, we came together to support each other, especially members of the class of 2020. We checked in on each other and Zoomed for fun. Then we virtually celebrated the seniors until we can celebrate them in person this May, because we are all a family of Maroons. In May, even while we were scattered across the world, clubs, organizations, and individuals showed their support for racial justice and equality following the murder of George Floyd. Students made their voices heard and to this day continue to fight for justice because we are all a family of Maroons. In August, peer mentors and orientation leaders worked hard to welcome the class of 2024, and that, amongst the chaos this year has brought, our college is a great place to be. Then, when the rest of the student body arrived, we looked out for each other by holding one another accountable and following guidelines to ensure a healthy community because we are all a family of Maroons. Today, I'm standing with all of you who took the time to come together because you feel that sense of family just like I do. Whatever battle you fight next or whatever curveball is thrown at us, remember that we are all a family of Maroons who look out for each other and unite together to protect and care for each other because there is power in unity.
Next up, we have Carly Sheppard. Carly is the president of Alpha Phi Omega. Alpha Phi Omega is the national service fraternity and Roanoke College's home to the Alpha Beta Psi chapter. APO is very active around campus and in the Salem and Roanoke communities as avid providers of community service. Some of their key involvements on campus are helping facilitate social and service events that benefit various people and organizations, fostering camaraderie among students and brothers, as well as supporting and implementing leadership development programs. Most recently, APO assisted in CAB's Rocky Horror event on Monday. Their Alpha members have spread some love to offices on campus to thank them for their efforts with COVID-19, and they have continued to package 60 bags of food each week for local Salem elementary schools. Carly?
Hello, thank you for having me today. I really appreciate being able to speak for Alpha Phi Omega. Over quarantine, I read the Book of Joy. It follows the friendship of Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama and their quest for happiness. Many of the sentiments in the book discuss one's humanity being evident in connection to others, not the person alone. Like many of the themes in the book, I resonated with this one because of my background in community service, and that being one of the foundational goals of Alpha Phi Omega. Through service, I have come to see unity as recognizing when others are struggling or need a hand, and being willing to be that person. No act of kindness is too small. At Roanoke, we are united in our ability to recognize when people around us need a hand, and our overwhelming willingness to be that shoulder to lean on. More than any place I have ever been, I have felt undeniable love and compassion from this community in service to others. Unity is knowing you're not alone in your battles, and based on this, I'd like to share a short poem by an anonymous author. If at the set of sun, and we count the things that we have done, and counting find one self-denying act, one word that eased the heart of him who heard, one glance most kind, that felt like sunshine where it went, then we may count the day as well spent. Thank you.
Thank you, Carly. Next, we're going to hear from Sydney. She's the president of Hillel and the VP of Club Golf. RC Hillel strives to provide a space for the small but strong Jewish community on campus together, while also providing many engaging opportunities for Jewish students. RC Hillel also partners with other minority groups on campus to raise awareness of the Jewish culture and to encourage tolerance of diversity. As the female leader and female representative for Club Golf, Sydney strives to make sure female golfers at RC can practice collectively as a group while also providing opportunities for members to join together and share their love for golf. Sydney?
A quote that inspires me is one by Anne Frank that states the following: "How wonderful is it that nobody need to wait a single moment before starting to improve the world." This quote is inspiring to me because of an experience I had with anti-Semitism. I was actually often called Anne in high school, as some other students used this powerful young lady's name in an anti-Semitic manner. Now I have taken this experience and I've decided to use Anne's words as inspiration for my everyday life. I also try to remind myself of Anne's strength and perseverance as I do my best to be a leader for the Roanoke Jewish community and for RC Hillel. As we all know, these are difficult times, but when I look at the campus of Roanoke College, I often see glimmers of hope and strong, inspiring individuals. These individuals include fellow students and Roanoke College staff. This quote reminds me of those many individuals who do not wait a single moment and choose to improve the world or their direct community. Many Roanoke College student leaders strive to make minority students included on campus and offer their club as a place of support. Many Roanoke College faculty members offer emotional support or general assistance to students while also leading research in innovative areas. As Roanoke College students, I think we all seek out to help one another, especially in times of stress, while also taking steps to make changes and better our surrounding community and world. And I think that's what unites us as Maroons. Thank you.
Our next speaker is going to be Aspen Totman.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry that I came in my Halloween costume. I thought it'd be fun to scare my professors this morning. I'm the president of Lambda, which is essentially this school's gay-straight alliance. We do a lot of activism on campus in order to, A, push for equal rights and equal opportunities throughout campus, and to avoid discrimination within a professional setting against queer students on campus. We also provide a social environment for all of the LGBTQ community on campus, as well as providing education for people outside of the community that want to learn how to support it better. When I came to Roanoke, I was very closeted. My experience as a gay person really began here at Roanoke. I was not officially out until midway through my freshman year. I believe very strongly that the college experience is an opportunity to find oneself, and I feel that that's even more important to people who maybe don't have an accepting family at home, who can come to college, get away from that, and really learn to be themselves for the first time in their lives without the worry of harm. I'm very passionate about the Unity Week events simply because I believe that fostering a more unified space on campus begins with talking about the fact that we need a more unified space on campus. And we do. And a lot of students try to provide that here, which is something you don't find some other places, including home, the city, sometimes whenever you go out and you're walking down the street. So I want to thank the community of Roanoke College for really taking steps forward to not only accept, but also to pull in more LGBTQ students who just deserve a place to call home. Thank you.
Thank you, Aspen. Next, we're going to hear from Cam. She's the Vice President of Young Life. Young Life is a non-denominational Christian organization that fosters an area where young adults can create a relationship with their faith. Cam?
So I'm going to be talking a little bit about John 15. John 15:12 says that this is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. And that's what we're all about at Young Life. We're a community built on love and acceptance of every race, gender, ethnicity, everybody. When we gather together every week to catch up and learn about who Jesus is, we're united with students from different walks of life. Our motto is, "You were made for this." We're united in ministry and friendship, and we believe that no matter who you are, we are together no matter what. We see you how Jesus sees you, and we love all of you.
Our next student leader is going to be Jordan Robinson. Jordan is the president of the Black Student Alliance. The goal of the Black Student Alliance is to build a community for Black students on campus while also promoting community building for all students on campus. Jordan?
Well, firstly, I would like to thank Roanoke College and, of course, our great hostess for giving me the platform to be able to come up here and speak with you all today. I really just want to kind of shed some light on when Roanoke College really became a place of unity for me, and that happened to be during this COVID period, especially with all the racial climate that we are currently living in. So for those who don't know, I'm a junior here. So my freshman year when I came in, I was one out of the 368 students of color here at Roanoke College out of a population well over 1,600 students. And because of that,
I really wanted to find a sense of community here, which is how I kind of found my way to the Black Student Alliance. And they graciously took me in. They have raised me basically in a sense to become the leader that I am here on campus. Without them, I wouldn't have accomplished the things that I would have, and I don't think I would have found that at any college other than Roanoke College. And I highly cannot express how much I have gratitude for this school. But the main instance when I found out that we were unified as a college was actually when Sen Boswell, the student body president, emailed me over this COVID period and asked me if I would like to be a part of a resolution that condemns slavery from a student body standpoint. And for something that a lot of students of color feel on campus is not feeling like they are heard, not feeling like they're included, and not feeling like they are a part of the Roanoke College community, it was a turn point for me to realize that the work that we're doing, especially in the OMA office and as student leaders here on campus, is joining us all together to be one, to be the home of the Maroons. And for that being the turning point for me as a 3-year student, I would say is something that is incredible, and I don't think many alumni, especially those who have been past Black Student Alliance presidents, would have saw that in their time. So I graciously would like to thank Roanoke College for bringing this environment together to be able to reminisce and commemorate the events that we have done as student leaders, to be able to appreciate each other as students as well as leaders, as well as faculty and students. So again, I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. Next, we're going to hear from Sen Boswell. Sen is the student body president. The Student Government Association works with the college on pursuing student interests and improving campus life. SGA does this by having student representation from different cross-sections of campus who bring forward their own ideas and work to get student body-wide support. Sen?
Thank you so much. So, personally, occasionally, honestly, over the past few weeks, I've struggled to be positive about our unity as Maroons. Overall, I think we truly are a united community and want to support each other, but I do feel like we have a few struggles. I feel like our source of our unity comes from the philosophy of Roanoke College, which says, among other things, that the liberal arts leads us out from small, safe worlds into large, more interesting ones by training in us a dissatisfaction with partial knowledge, with sloganeering, and with fixed ideologies. Over the past year, I have seen multiple situations where partial knowledge and sloganeering have had the floor, taking things out of context and creating a sensationalized community. I do, however, believe that we are still united as Maroons, and I have a poem that I want to recite that I feel kind of explains how I feel about this. And my poem is The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, just as fair, and perhaps having the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. It is immensely difficult, and a road often not taken, to set aside one's feelings and ask the question why before drawing conclusions. But I found that some of the greatest unity can be created on campus by asking that question, having conversations, and coming together and just sitting across the table from each other. We are united as Maroons because we do seek context, we do ask why, and we do work together to do something greater. Thank you so much.
So before our final speaker comes up, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who are attending, those of you who are watching on MaroonTube, and to all of our student leaders who shared today. When Devin and I first started planning this event, we were not sure how it was going to go. So thank you all so much for coming out and supporting this event. Our last speaker that we have is the one and only, a man who may need no introduction, Chaplain Chris Bowen.
two roads diverged, and those roads, one leads to chaos and the other leads to community. Dr. Martin Luther King reminded us of that a couple generations ago, and we're at that crossroads again. And so today, on the eve of a week that may lead to some division and some chaos, it is important to remember that at the heart of community is the word unity. And our leadership embodies that. Because unity doesn't just happen. It has to be fostered, it has to be worked at, it has to be led towards. And you heard today all the elements that are necessary from our leaders to make community happen. And it's been happening here since 42. Exactly. And so I just want to close today with one of the things that I have truly missed that makes me feel connected to all you all, that brings this community together in a particular way. And I give thanks for our student athletes who are with us today, because you all are the ones who helped generate this little chant that I have missed this fall, because I haven't been able to go to the field hockey games, and the soccer games, and the volleyball games, and the swim meets, and the golf, and all the good stuff that happens this fall. And so we're going to close today with a little unifying chant, and it's a pretty simple one. It's when our teams take the field, we shout two words: go, nope. Right? You guys, right? Have you been missing that? I've been missing that. So as loud as you can on the count of three, we're going to shout go, nope. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go, nope! Thank you all for coming. God bless you and have a great weekend. Stay safe. Be well. Bye-bye.